The email was sent at 2:17 a.m. Mandatory lecture. Hall B13. Attendance required. That was strange. The semester had ended 2 weeks ago. Still, the message came from the official university address. No signature. No professor's name. At 9 p.m., I stood outside Hall B13. The lights were on. Inside, the lecture hall was half full. Students sat silently, all facing forward. No one talked. No one used their phone. I took a seat in the back. The door closed by itself. The professor entered without a sound. I didn't recognize him. He wrote one sentence on the board. Education leaves a mark. Then he began calling names. Each student who stood up walked down the aisle. And never came back. No exit door opened. No sound. They just disappeared past the podium. I tried to leave. The doors wouldn't move. When my name was called, my stomach dropped. I stood up. As I walked forward, I noticed something horrifying. The front row seats were empty. But the floor beneath them was covered in handprints. Some fresh. Some old. The professor smiled. You attended every class, he said. You just don't remember the ones that never ended. The lights went out. I woke up in my dorm room. The email was gone. No record of Hall B13 existed in the university database. But on my arm, carved deep into my skin, were 3 words. Still enrolled. Everyone at the university knew the library closed at midnight. Except one floor. I discovered it during finals week, when sleep stopped mattering and caffeine replaced food. I was studying alone on the 4th floor when I noticed something odd. The elevator panel showed a button labeled F. No number. Just a letter. I asked the librarian about it. She stared at me for a moment too long and said, "There is no F floor." That night, at 11:58 p.m., the elevator doors closed behind me. On their own. The panel lit up. F. The elevator went down. But it felt like falling sideways. The doors opened to a library that looked older than the university itself. The air smelled like dust and something faintly rotten. The shelves were endless. The lights flickered like they were tired. Students sat at desks, reading. None of them moved. I stepped forward. Every book had a title stamped in gold. They were names. Full names. With student ID numbers beneath them. I found mine. My hands were shaking as I opened the book. Inside were pages of my life. Not memories, things I never remembered doing. Conversations I never recalled. Hallways I didn't remember walking through. Late nights I swore I had slept through. Behind me, a chair scraped the floor. A student stood up. His face was pale, eyes hollow. I missed my deadline, he whispered. They archived me. I backed away. The librarian stood at the far end of the room now. She wasn't smiling. Knowledge has a cost, she said. And some students never graduate. The lights went out. When they came back on, the shelves were closer. The books whispered. I ran. The elevator doors were closing. I dove through just in time. I woke up on the library steps at sunrise. Security said I passed out from exhaustion. They said there was no F floor. But when I checked my student portal, one new notification waited for me. Status, archived, pending. Dormitory 6 was officially closed. That's what the university website said. Under renovation. No access. But every night, its windows were lit. I noticed it during my second semester, when my dorm room faced the old building. Lights turned on at exactly 1:11 a.m. Every single night. No movement. Just light. I asked around. No one admitted living there. Some students avoided the question altogether. One night, curiosity won. At 1:05 a.m., I crossed the empty courtyard. The front door of dormitory 6 was unlocked. Inside, the air was cold and smelled like detergent and something metallic. The hallway lights flickered as I walked. Room numbers lined the walls. They all had nameplates. Some names were scratched out. Others looked recent. I reached the stairwell. A security notice was taped to the wall. Quiet hours, 1:10 a.m. to 6 o'clock a.m. That made no sense. At 1:10, the lights went out. Footsteps began. Not running. Not walking. Dragging. Doors opened along the hallway. Students stepped out. They wore pajamas. Some held textbooks. Some stared straight ahead with empty expressions. No one spoke. They all turned toward the stairwell. I backed away. A hand grabbed my wrist. A girl whispered, "Don't miss roll call." She pointed upstairs. Floor by floor, the numbers changed. 4th floor. 5th floor. 6th floor. The stairs didn't stop. At the top, a large common room waited. Rows of chairs faced a white wall. A man stood in front. He wore a badge that read, "Resident Advisor." He smiled too wide. "Attendance is mandatory," he said. "Sleep is optional." He started calling names. Each time a name was called, the student stood. Their shadow stayed seated. I checked my phone. 1:11 a.m. My name appeared on the wall. Written slowly. Letter by letter. I ran. The stairwell finally ended back at the courtyard. Dormitory 6 was dark. The next morning, the building was gone. Construction crews said it had been demolished years ago. But last night, at 1:11 a.m., my phone buzzed. A campus notification. Missed attendance will be recorded.